Govern your mind, for it is not the clang of circumstance that disturbs you, but the verdict you deliver upon it. Events arrive unannounced, unshaped, indifferent to your preferences. They do not carry meaning in their hands. They are raw, material, neutral, and silent. It is your judgment that breathes fire or fragrance into them. It is your interpretation that crowns them blessing or catastrophe. Therefore, if you seek mastery, begin where power truly resides, within the citadel of your own perception. The untrained mind reacts as dry grass to a wandering spark. A careless word becomes an insult. A delay becomes disrespect. A setback becomes doom. But pause and observe closely. The insult was merely sound. The delay was merely time unfolding. The setback was merely a change in direction. Your agitation did not originate in the world. It emerged from the swift and often unconscious declaration, "This is unbearable," or "This should not be." In that instant, you surrendered. Authority, you allowed assumption to masquerade as truth. To govern your mind is to interrupt that reflex. It is to insert a sovereign breath between stimulus and response. In that breath lies freedom. In that breath lies dignity. When something occurs, say to yourself, "This is only an appearance." Examine it as a jeweler studies a stone, turning it slowly, testing its clarity. Ask, "Is this within my command? Does this touch my character? Or does it merely brush against comfort and convenience?" Most disturbances dissolve under scrutiny, for they never threatened your virtue, only your preference. You must understand that the world does not conspire against you. It simply unfolds according to its own nature. Rain falls without consulting your plans. People speak from the architecture of their own fears and desires. Markets rise and collapse with mechanical indifference. None of these forces possess malice. The anguish you feel is the echo of expectation colliding with reality. When expectation softens, anguish loosens its grip. Consider how swiftly emotion follows interpretation. You label a moment failure, and heaviness floods your chest. You label it instruction, and resilience awakens. The external scene remains identical. Only the lens has changed. This is the profound leverage you hold. Your perspective is not a passive window. It is a sculptor's tool, carving experience into either prism bars or stepping stones. To govern your mind is not to suppress feeling, but to refine it. Suppression breeds tension, yet disciplined reflection breeds clarity. When anger surges, do not drown in it nor deny it. Stand beside it. Observe its texture. What belief fuels it? Perhaps the belief that others must behave according to your script. Release that script, and anger loses oxygen. When anxiety whispers, trace it to its root. Often it springs from a demand for certainty in a world woven from unpredictability. Replace the demand with preparedness, and anxiety yields to composure. You are the steward of your inner dialogue. If that dialogue is harsh, frantic, and catastrophic, your days will mirror its chaos. If it is measured, rational, and anchored, in principle, your days will reflect steadiness. The mind speaks ceaselessly. It narrates, predicts, criticizes, exaggerates. Left unexamined, it becomes a reckless storyteller. Govern it by questioning its tailings. Is this thought factual, or is it fear adorned with imagination? Is this conclusion evidence-based, or is it habit disguised as certainty? There is immense power in reframing. What you once called humiliation may be reinterpreted as humility's teacher. What you once called loss may become liberation from excess. What you once called obstacle may reveal itself as endurance training for the soul. The event remains unmoved, yet your inner terrain transforms. Mastery is not rearranging the world. It is reorganizing your response to it. Guard especially against the tyranny of comparison. When you measure your worth against shifting standards of others, you hand over your tranquility to variables beyond your influence. Someone will always possess more wealth, more applause, more recognition. If your contentment depends upon surpassing them, peace becomes perpetually postponed. Instead, compare your present self to your former self. Measure growth in integrity, patience, courage. These are metrics immune to public opinion. Remember also that the mind magnifies what it fixates upon. Dwell on grievance, and grievance expands until it eclipses gratitude. Dwell on scarcity, and abundance fades from sight. Direct your attention deliberately. Seek evidence of progress. Seek examples of kindness. Seek reminders of impermanence. Attention is the architect of emotional climate. Govern it wisely. When adversity strikes, resist the instinct to cry, "Why me?" Replace it with, "What is required of me now?" The former breeds victimhood. The latter summons agency. You can't veto reality, but you can determine your posture within it. Will you meet hardship with complaint or with composure? Will you allow delay to ferment into bitterness, or will you use it as rehearsal for patience? The choice, quiet yet decisive, belongs to you. The disciplined mind does not chase every impulse. It evaluates, it selects, it discards. Impulses are invitations, not commands. Just because irritation knocks does not mean it must be entertained. Just because envy appears does not mean it deserves a seat at the table. You are not obligated to obey every internal suggestion. Authority remains with you. Through repetition, this governance becomes instinctive. At first, vigilance feels effortful, like learning to steer a powerful vessel through turbulent waters. Over time, discernment sharpens, reactions slow, clarity accelerates. The mind that once leapt to outrage now pauses in inquiry. The mind that once collapsed under pressure now inquires, adapts, recalibrates. Your peace is not a gift from circumstance. It is a discipline of interpretation. Every day presents countless opportunities to practice. In traffic, in disagreement, in disappointment, in praise, especially in praise. For flattery can intoxicate as surely as insult can wound. Govern your delight as carefully as your distress. Do not let admiration inflate you, nor criticism diminish you. Both are external breezes. Your worth resides in the constancy of your character. When you truly comprehend that judgments shape emotional reality, you reclaim immense power. You cease waiting for conditions to perfect themselves before allowing yourself serenity. You recognize that serenity is cultivated internally, independent of weather, wealth, or applause. You become less reactive, more reflective, less fragile, more formidable. The world continues its unpredictable dance, yet within you stands a composed witness, assessing, choosing, directing. Focus only on what is within your control. Release the rest without resentment. This principle is not mere advice, it is liberation carved in disciplined thought. Most suffering does not originate from hardship itself, but from the desperate attempt to command what was never ours to command. We strain against weather, against opinions, against outcomes, against time itself. We exhaust our vitality wrestling shadows. Mastery begins the moment you recognize the boundaries of your authority and choose to operate magnificently within them. There are two realms in every life: the internal and the external. The internal is your dominion, your judgments, intentions, efforts, responses, values. The external is everything else: other people's behavior, public recognition, financial fluctuation, aging, reputation, unpredictable fortune. Confusion arises when these territories are blurred. When you attempt to control the external as if it were internal, frustration becomes inevitable. When you neglect the internal while obsessing over the external, weakness quietly grows. Consider how often anxiety is born. You plan meticulously, yet fear whispers about results you cannot guarantee. You speak truthfully, yet worry about how others will interpret your words. You labor diligently, yet obsess over applause or reward. The effort was yours. The outcome was never promised. By attaching your peace to the result, you attach it to uncertainty. By anchoring your peace to your effort, you secure it in certainty. Your sphere of control is powerful, yet precise. You control whether you act with integrity. You control whether you respond with patience or hostility. You control whether you persevere or surrender. You control whether your speech carries clarity or cruelty. These choices may appear subtle, but they shape the architecture of your character. The storm may rage beyond your reach, but your posture within remains yours. Releasing what you cannot control is not indifference. It is intelligent restraint. It is the disciplined refusal to waste emotional currency on what refuses your influence. The sun will set whether you approve or protest. Another person will misunderstand you whether you explain once or 10 times. Markets will fluctuate regardless of your worry. To resist these truths is to declare war against reality itself. To accept them is to conserve strength for battles you can actually win. Resentment often disguises itself as righteousness. You tell yourself you are justified in your anger because someone acted unfairly, because circumstances shifted unexpectedly, because recognition did not arrive. Yet examine closely. Is your resentment improving the situation or merely poisoning your inner climate? When you cling to bitterness over what lies beyond your authority, you chain yourself to helplessness. Release does not excuse wrongdoing. It simply refuses to let external chaos dominate internal equilibrium. Imagine your energy as a finite treasury. Every thought, every worry, every irritation withdraws from it. If you invest heavily in factors outside your command, bankruptcy of spirit follows swiftly. But when you allocate energy exclusively to your own conduct, discipline, preparation, and resilience, the treasury grows rich with stability. You become formidable not because the world bends, but because you remain unbent. The art lies in swift discernment. When confronted with a challenge, ask immediately, is this mine to govern? If yes, act decisively. If no, release deliberately. This habit transforms reaction into strategy. Instead of spiraling into complaint about unfairness, you pivot toward adaptation. Instead of lamenting delay, you refine patience. Instead of cursing uncertainty, you fortify readiness. Release requires humility. It demands acknowledgement that you are not the axis upon which existence rotates. Others possess their own wills, histories, fears, and motives. They will not always align with your preferences. Expecting universal agreement is a subtle form of arrogance. Accepting divergence is maturity. You cannot command another's conscience, but you can guard your own. You cannot script another's behavior, but you can refine your response. Freedom blossoms in this clarity. When praise arrives, you appreciate it without clinging, because applause was never yours to manufacture. When criticism appears, you evaluate it without collapsing, because opinion was never yours to eliminate. When success unfolds, you enjoy it without arrogance, because outcome was never entirely yours. When failure strikes, you endure without despair, because effort remains intact. Control what you cultivate daily. Discipline in habit, sincerity in speech, excellence in craft. Release what shifts beyond your grasp. Timing, recognition, random disruption. This separation prevents emotional whiplash. You no longer oscillate wildly between elation and devastation based on variables outside your command. Your equilibrium stabilizes because its foundation rests on choice rather than chance. There is profound dignity in focusing on your lane. While others obsess over comparison and control, you refine competence. While others gossip about outcomes, you strengthen preparation. While others rage at unpredictability, you sharpen adaptability. Quiet power accumulates in those who master the controllable. When adversity surfaces, your instinct may be to protest the injustice of it. Yet ask instead, what part of this belongs to me? Perhaps effort must increase. Perhaps attitude requires correction. Perhaps acceptance must deepen. Identify the fragment that is yours and act upon it with precision. Then relinquish the remainder without mental rehearsal. Replaying what you cannot change only deepens grooves of frustration. Letting go without resentment is an advanced discipline. It means you release not only the illusion of control, but also the emotional attachment to controlling. It means you do not secretly demand the universe conform to your blueprint. You adapt your blueprint to the terrain presented. Flexibility replaces rigidity. Composure replaces outrage. This focus sharpens productivity. Instead of scattering attention across hypothetical futures and imagined criticisms, you concentrate fully on present execution. The quality of your actions improves because distraction diminishes. Presence intensifies. Craft becomes meditation. Effort becomes satisfaction. Over time, this habit reshapes identity. You cease describing yourself as victim of circumstance and begin embodying steward of response. You recognize that while destiny may distribute conditions unevenly, it distributes choice universally. In that choice resides nobility. Your influence may be narrower than your desires, yet it is deeper than you assume. Within that sphere lies character, courage, perseverance, honesty, discipline. Perfect these, and you construct an inner fortress untouched by turbulence. The external world continues its unpredictable rhythm, yet your internal governance remains deliberate, composed, intentional. Discipline desire and emotion through reason, not impulse. Within every human heart lives a restless current, an urgent craving for pleasure, recognition, comfort, dominance, certainty. These impulses arise swiftly, often seductively, presenting themselves as necessities rather than suggestions. They speak with urgency, promising fulfillment, relief, satisfaction. Yet unexamined desire is a persuasive tyrant. It demands immediate obedience, and in its wake, it often leaves regret, exhaustion, and quiet shame. To master yourself, you must first recognize that desire is not an enemy, but neither is it a sovereign. It is energy raw, powerful, directionless. Without discipline, it becomes wildfire, scorching judgment and clarity. With reason as its architect, it becomes controlled flame, forging strength and purpose. Impulses arrive unannounced. Hunger for admiration whispers when someone else is praised. Anger ignites when pride feels threatened. Envy slithers in when comparison exposes insecurity. Fear trembles when uncertainty looms. These emotional surges are ancient, biological, immediate. They are not chosen. What is chosen is whether they govern your action. Reason is the deliberate pause between feeling and movement. It is the calm observer who asks, "What is this emotion urging me to do?" And then follows with, "Is that action worthy of my character?" Without that inquiry, emotion becomes commander and character becomes casualty. Desire promises relief through indulgence. It tells you that speaking sharply will restore dignity, that acquiring more will secure worth, that retaliating will restore balance. Yet, examine history, your own history. How often has indulgence truly satisfied? How often has retaliation produced peace? The gratification of impulse is brief, intoxicating, and fleeting. The consequence often lingers longer than the pleasure ever did. Reason, in contrast, is rarely dramatic. It does not shout. It suggests. It counsels patience where impulse demands haste. It recommends silence where anger demands spectacle. It proposes moderation where craving demands excess. Its voice is quieter, yet infinitely wiser. To discipline desire does not mean to extinguish passion or flatten emotion. It means to refine them. Ambition, guided by reason, becomes excellence. Courage, guided by reason, becomes bravery rather than recklessness. Affection, guided by reason, becomes devotion rather than dependency. Emotion is not suppressed, it is sculpted. Consider anger. Left ungoverned, it corrodes relationships, distorts perception, and narrows intelligence. Under reason's supervision, anger transforms into assertiveness, into principled defense of justice without cruelty. The fire remains, but it is contained, within boundaries that protect rather than destroy. Consider desire for status. Unchecked, it breeds vanity and perpetual dissatisfaction. Guided by reason, it becomes aspiration for contribution, hunger for meaningful achievement rather than hollow applause. The energy to rise remains, but the motive matures. Impulse seeks immediacy. Reason respects timing. Impulse says, now. Reason asks, is now appropriate? Impulse leaps. Reason evaluates terrain. Impulse devours. Reason measures portions. In this contrast lies the difference between chaos and composure. The untrained mind mistakes intensity for truth. A powerful emotion feels convincing, therefore it must be correct. Yet intensity does not equal accuracy. A surge of jealousy does not prove betrayal. A wave of fear does not confirm danger. A burst of desire does not guarantee necessity. Reason tests emotional claims against evidence and principle. It asks for proof before granting permission. There is immense strength in restraint. In a culture intoxicated with expression and immediacy, restraint appears weak. In reality, restraint is disciplined power. The ability to feel anger without unleashing it recklessly is strength. The ability to experience temptation without surrendering to it is strength. The ability to endure discomfort without frantic escape is strength. Every impulse you resist strengthens the muscle of self-command. Every craving you examine rather than obey sharpens clarity. Every emotional surge you navigate with deliberation fortifies dignity. This is training of the highest order. Desire often exaggerates urgency. It insists that satisfaction cannot wait, that delay is deprivation. Yet most cravings dissolve when denied immediate compliance. Like waves, they crest and recede. If you endure the crest without capitulation, you discover their impermanence. Reason thrives in patience. It knows that what is truly valuable withstands delay. Emotional discipline also requires self-honesty. Do not disguise indulgence as authenticity. Saying, I am simply being honest, while wounding others through uncontrolled emotion is not courage. It is lack of refinement. True authenticity aligns feeling with virtue, not with volatility. You must also guard against emotional contagion. Crowds amplify impulse. Collective outrage, collective panic, collective excitement, these currents can sweep away individual judgment. Reason anchors you when atmosphere becomes intoxicating. It reminds you that your character is not suspended simply because others abandon theirs. There will be moments when emotion feels overwhelming, when reason seems distant. In such moments, simplify, breathe, create space, postpone decision. Delay is often the ally of wisdom. Rarely does virtue demand immediate reaction. Disciplining desire is not deprivation, it is elevation. It is choosing long-term strength over short-term thrill. It is preferring integrity over indulgence. It is recognizing that your highest self is constructed not from what you feel, but from how you respond to what you feel. The disciplined individual experiences the full spectrum of human emotion, yet remains architect rather than hostage. Joy is savored without addiction. Sorrow is endured without collapse. Attraction is appreciated without surrendering values. Fear is acknowledged without paralysis. Over time, reason becomes instinctive. The pause lengthens naturally. The evaluation becomes swift. Impulses lose their tyranny because they no longer encounter blind obedience. You begin to trust yourself, not because you lack desire, but because you can govern it. True freedom is not the ability to act on every impulse. It is the ability to choose which impulses deserve action. In that discernment lies sovereignty. In that restraint lies elegance. In that alignment between emotion and principle lies unshakable self-command. Daily self-examination is the quiet workshop of character, the place where you step away from noise and observe yourself with honesty. It is not a tribunal of self-condemnation, nor a ceremony of vanity. It is a measured inventory of actions, intentions, and attitudes. A deliberate pause in which you ask what you have done well and where you have faltered. Without this practice, growth becomes accidental. With it, growth becomes intentional. Each day carries countless opportunities to act, speak, and decide. Some choices elevate you, others diminish you. Many pass unnoticed in the rush of routine. A sharp word spoken in frustration, a small avoidance of responsibility, a moment of dishonesty so subtle it barely registers. These are the grains of behavior that accumulate into the architecture of character. Daily self-examination prevents accumulation of error. It clears the ground so virtue may grow. To examine yourself is to assume responsibility. It is easy to judge others, to catalog their shortcomings, to discuss their failures. It is far more demanding to turn the lens inward and ask, how did I contribute to harmony or discord today? Did I act with integrity? Did I speak with kindness? Did I honor my commitments? These questions require courage because their answers may challenge your self-image. Yet improvement begins where comfort ends. Self-examination should be conducted with fairness. Harshness breeds defensiveness. Indulgence breeds stagnation. Evaluate yourself as a wise mentor would, neither excusing mistakes nor exaggerating them. Acknowledge what went well. Celebrate discipline. Recognize moments of patience and generosity. Then confront shortcomings with clarity. Where did you act impulsively? Where did you avoid difficult truth? Where could you have served better? The purpose is understanding, not humiliation. This practice cultivates awareness. Without awareness, behavior becomes automatic. You repeat habits because they are familiar, not because they are wise. Daily reflection interrupts automation. It illuminates patterns. Perhaps you notice that stress triggers irritability. Perhaps you observe that procrastination arises when tasks feel overwhelming. Awareness is the first step toward change. You cannot improve what you refuse to see. Self-examination also strengthens accountability. It shifts responsibility from external circumstances to internal choice. You may not control every event, but you control your response. If a situation unfolded poorly, ask what part of it was influenced by your actions. If relationships are strained, consider how communication might be improved. Accountability empowers because it identifies avenues for action. Blame disempowers because it assigns control to others. The disciplined individual engages in reflection consistently, not sporadically, not only after failure, but as a regular ritual. Evening is often suitable, a moment to review the day with calm detachment. What decisions were made? What emotions arose? How were they handled? Were words spoken with care? Were commitments honored? This review need not be lengthy. Its value lies in sincerity. Journaling can assist the process. Writing thoughts anchors them. It transforms vague impressions into concrete observations. When you record reflections, patterns emerge. You might notice recurring challenges or repeated successes. Over time, the journal becomes a map of your development, a chronicle of lessons learned and virtues strengthened. It is a testament to effort. Self-examination must also be forward-looking. Reflection is not only about past actions, but about future improvement. After identifying shortcomings, determine specific steps. If patience was lacking, practice slowing responses. If honesty faltered, recommit to truthfulness. If discipline weakened, establish clearer boundaries. Growth requires action. Reflection without action is incomplete. This practice nurtures humility. Humility is not self-deprecation. It is recognition that perfection is unattainable and improvement is perpetual. No person is beyond learning. No achievement eliminates the need for growth. Humility keeps the mind open and receptive. It prevents arrogance, which blinds individuals to their flaws. Daily self-examination also deepens empathy. When you confront your own imperfections, you better understand those of others. You recognize that everyone struggles with impulses, errors, and vulnerabilities. This understanding fosters compassion. It reduces the impulse to judge harshly. It encourages patience and kindness. The world often rewards appearance over substance. Social platforms display curated highlights. Public discourse celebrates spectacle. Yet character is built in private moments, in choices unseen by others. Daily reflection reinforces this truth. It reminds you that worth is measured not by external validation, but by internal integrity. There will be days when reflection feels uncomfortable. You may confront mistakes you wish to ignore. You may realize opportunities you missed. Do not retreat from discomfort. It is a teacher. Growth rarely occurs in ease. The willingness to face truth, however difficult, distinguishes the mature from the complacent. Self-examination should not become obsession. Excessive scrutiny can paralyze action and erode confidence. The goal is balanced, honest evaluation, paired with constructive resolve. Recognize flaws, but do not dwell upon them endlessly. Learn, adjust, and move forward. Improvement is a journey, not a destination. Over time, this practice transforms character. Decisions become more deliberate. Reactions become more measured. Values become clearer. You begin to act not from habit or impulse, but from principle. Integrity strengthens. Resilience deepens. Relationships benefit because consistent self-awareness reduces harm and enhances understanding. Daily self-examination is an investment. It requires time and effort, but the returns are profound. It shapes the person you become. It aligns actions with ideals. It cultivates virtue. Through reflection, you gain mastery, not over others, but over yourself. And in that mastery lies true strength, enduring purpose, and the quiet confidence of a life well examined and wisely lived.